to have you both on. And just straight to this. Well, it was confirmed this morning. All Newshub operations to be shut down and 250 people will lose their jobs. The shutdown includes the company's website. Former shows included the likes of Campbell Live, The Project, Nightline, 360. The last 6 p.m. news bulletin will air on July the 5th. We are losing something amazing today, Patrick Gower told media. Meanwhile, this show here has been cancelled.
Don't touch my card or I will have the cops on you. Now, off.
Did you kill him?
No, I did not.
Reported John Hudson there on a Sunday episode, the final broadcast of the 22-year-long form journalism show TVNZ Sunday will be May the 19th. And yesterday, the 47-year-long Fair Go was axed, looking to survive and appeared back digital form. Broadcasting Minister Melissa Lee told Checkpoint a few minutes ago that she is talking with the Prime Minister today about today's Newshub and TVNZ job losses. She says she's going through the cabinet process and she does have ideas, but they're a secret. With us is Dan Lake, ex-Newshub staff of over 15 years, tweeted earlier today, no words. Dan, kia ora.
Well, those public hugs, they're quite welcome to come this way today. And I think there's so many people that have been working at TV3 at any point during their career, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, for you, Dan, when you first heard it, it wasn't really new news, was it? Because we talked a few weeks ago. But yes. How to sum up today's announcement for you, Dan?
For me, it's for me personally, my connection to that place goes as far back in my life as I can remember. As a kid, I used to build the TV3 newsroom out of Lego. When I was 12, I used to write letters to people like John Campbell and Leanne Malcolm, who did Nightline at the time, talking about how I wanted their jobs. And then through eventually managed to get a job there. It was actually the son of Kevin Milne from Fair Go who originally sent me a job link to get a job at TV3, and that started the 16 or so years that I spent there.
So on that note, you can imagine how devastating, not just for the likes of you as ex-staffers, but just for those people who walked into that meeting this morning and out they came. You could see it on their faces.
Could see it on their faces, and I think over the years, TV3 and Newshub and 3 News has had so many of these moments where bad news is coming. You know, there's been redundancies. There was the Weldon CEO era where he went through the place with an axe, and there's always been that feeling of what's just around the corner. But I think even after the most recent announcement a few weeks ago, that there really was a sense that surely they can't get rid of this because it means too much to New Zealand. Surely it's not going, because it is just such a huge part of New Zealand's culture. I mean, kia ora, good evening, the use of kia ora started on Nightline, you know, and that just kind of spread from there. You think of all the iconic stories and, you know, coverage that's come through that newsroom, and I don't think anyone expected that it would actually be switched off.
Dan, I wondered if you had any thoughts on the fact that advertising is the main revenue stream for that kind of terrestrial commercial media, and the advertising revenue isn't there. And I'm a journalist too, and I work for a media company where we are funded also partly by advertising. Is the landscape got scale to allow that kind of traditional media to exist? I
think it definitely needs some remodelling, and changes definitely need to be made just through, you know, terrestrial television is on the way out, and there's so much infrastructure that's in that building that is all around terrestrial television. But then you look at other countries of similar sizes, and even states in Australia, you know, with similar populations, and they still have multiple commercial networks with evening news bulletins on. So, you know, the audience for leaving TV, perhaps maybe a bit faster in New Zealand, but I still didn't think that it would get to the point where there would be absolutely no TV bulletin. Yes, things would move more digitally. I remember when Melissa Lee said that she gets her news on her phone. How does it get on her phone? It's people in newsrooms that are putting it on there. So, you know, you still need the people that are putting that news together.
Well, very nice to have you here, Dan, and look, all the best, and thanks again for joining us. It's Dan Lake, ex-Newshub staff.